Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. For this week it will be another grammar video where we will be looking at adjectives. In our previous grammar video we were looking at nouns. So following on from that we will look at adjectives. If you want to watch the noun video because that will be useful before watching this one, I will leave it here. And without further ado, let's get into it. Adjectives tell us more about a noun. So if you remember from our previous video, which I will link below and leave it in the eye bubble, it is a thing, place, or person. So it tells us more about that thing, place, or person. It describes it. For example, big, small, clever, or a colour. Maybe a colour that someone is wearing, or a colour of a building. So example is black because it's a color. It can describe something color. Big, it describes how big it is, how small it is. So you can envision or you could think about that particular thing, place, or person. And same with clever, you can think about the words that describe that person. You're thinking, it builds up a picture in our mind of a person that someone is describing to us. So a big white building, in my mind, I picture a very big or tall building that is white. It gives me more detail so that I can imagine it. These words tell us more about the building. It tells us more about the building. In this case, the building is the noun because it is a thing. It allows us to picture what the building looks like. Like I said, it allows us to build up a picture of our mind of what that particular building looks like. So we get a better idea of that building. If I just said a building, we don't know what colour it is, how big it is, how small it is. But if I say a big white building, we know the colour of it, we know how tall or big it is, and we can picture it in our mind. Okay, so now I would like you to find the adjectives in these sentences. So what I want you to think of when you think of adjectives, because it's quite a big word, I would like you to think of describing words. What words add description to the sentence, or what words tells us more about the place, the person, or the thing. We will do one together and then you will have a go on your own and then I will go through them. So Tommy is bossy. The first thing I have to think about is what tells me about Tommy, more about Tommy in this sentence. Tommy is bossy. Bossy tells me that he likes to be in charge and he likes to tell people what to do. So bossy would be the adjective in this sentence because it describes Tommy. It tells me more about Tommy. So now I'm going to give you a chance to do some yourself, find the adjectives in the sentences. So first, read. So I want to hear you reading sentences to yourself. Then you're going to have some thinking time to think about where the adjectives are in these sentences, and then it's your turn, and then we will go through it together. Pause the video here and continue when you're ready. Okay, so I hope you have had some time to go through these sentences yourself and spot the adjective, spot the describing word. So Sarah is wearing scruffy blue jeans and a pink jumper. Now I have to think about what tells me more about Sarah in this sentence or Sarah in this sentence. What tells me more? So the scruffy blue jeans tell me that her jeans aren't very nice because the word scruffy means the jeans are old or the jeans have rips in them and they have holes in them. They're not very nice jeans. So scruffy blue jeans and a pink jumper. It tells me more about what Sarah looks like or what Sarah looks like. She's wearing blue jeans and a pink jumper. So I can imagine somebody in blue jeans and a pink jumper. So blue and pink are the adjectives in the sentence because it is telling me more about Sarah. And Sarah is the noun because Sarah is a person. Okay, let's move to the next one. The bakery has a black and white door. Now, I have to think about the noun in this sentence is the bakery because it is a thing. Okay, so the bakery has a black and white door. Now, what in this sentence tells me more about the bakery is the fact that it has a black and white door. So the adjectives in this sentence are black and white. And for the last one, let's read it together. The brown horse is huge. Now, huge means really, really, really big. So in my mind, I can imagine a horse that is really, really, really big. And the horse is the noun because the horse is a thing. And the adjective, the thing that tells me more about the horse is that it's huge. So adjective or describing word is huge. Well done if you've got all of those right. Or well done for just having a try. Let's move on. Okay, so for this activity that we have, I've got some missing words. So you have to read the sentences and try and find the missing words. The missing words are all adjectives. They're all words that add description to what we're talking about, description to the noun. It adds more detail. It gives us more detail about the noun. So the place, the thing, or the person. Okay, so we will start off by doing one together. Then you will have some thinking time to read the sentences aloud, and then you will try to fill in the missing words. Okay, we will do the first one together. The something aeroplane tore across the sky. So when we say tore, we mean that it went really, really fast across the sky. So let's look at our adjectives. Lazy. Well, lazy wouldn't make sense because lazy means very, very slowly or doing something but not really wanting to. Tall and lazy are opposite words. Magical. Well, it could be magical because it is going really, really fast across the sky. But as we know, aeroplanes can go really, really fast across the sky, even if they're not magical. Then we've got dirty. Well, dirty wouldn't really add any description to this sentence because we're talking about the speed of the plane. So it would have to be something relating to the speed of the plane. Roaring is the sound that an aeroplane makes when it goes really, really fast. So I think the word that is missing is roaring because it adds, in our mind, it tells us what sound the plane was making when it tore across the sky, when it went really, really fast across the sky. So let's add that one in there. There we go. So roaring. Okay. Roaring. Okay, now that we've done the first one together, I will give you a couple minutes to go through the rest, and then we'll come back and do it together. Pause the video here and continue when you're ready. Okay, so I hope that you've had a chance to go through these sentences and find the missing describing word or adjective, and let's now do it together. So Sarah told her blank brother to hurry up. Okay, so let's go through these words together. Remember, we've used roaring, so let's get rid of that so we don't get confused. So we've got lazy, magical, and dirty. Well, lazy does match this sentence because remember we said lazy was someone that does something but doesn't really want to do it or does it very slowly. So if Sarah had to tell her brother to hurry up, it could mean that he is quite lazy. So the missing adjective in that sentence is lazy. So let's fill that in. Well done if you had a go or you got that right, because having a go is how we learn. Okay, so let's delete that one so we don't get confused. Okay, now the next sentence. The something wizard cast a spell on her brother. Now we know wizards are quite magical. Whenever we read a story about a wizard, we know that the character is quite magical. So that would be the most likely noun, sorry, the most likely adjective to describe the wizard. So the missing adjective in that sentence is magical. So let's fill that in. Again, well done if you had a go or you got that correct. And now we're going to get rid of this one. Lots of snails live in Sarah's something garden. Well, we know that snails like dirt and they like mud. So we can say that the missing adjective in this sentence or the missing describing word is dirty. This word is dirty. Let's just fill that in and put that in the right place. Good job if you had a go at filling those adjectives or describing words in. And for our final activity today, now that we've had some practice of filling in the adjectives and looking for adjectives, I would like you to come up with some of your own adjectives to fill in these sentences. Like always, we will do the first one together and then you will have some time to try and do the other ones on your own. So let's do the first one together. The something hat. Now remember, an adjective is a describing word, something that will tell us more about the hat. So I can describe the color of it, the size of it. So let's go with the color. That's an easy one to start off with. So I can say the yellow hat. Now it tells me the color, so I can imagine in my mind what the hat looks like. Okay, now that we've done the first one together, you'll have some time to read the sentences, then think of the adjectives and do them yourself. So now pause the video here and continue when you're ready. Okay, so I hope that you've had some time to go through these sentences and now we will go through them together. Okay, so the second sentence is the something house. Now, I can describe what the house looks like. I'm going to use the word dark because I think that gives a mystery in my mind to what this house can be. So I'm going to say the dark house. So it tells me in my mind that this house could be scary, mysterious, and I like that. I like that adjective, that describing word. Okay, let's move on. The something and something boy. So I know that I have to describe something about a boy. I can describe his hair color. I can describe how skinny he is or if he is a bit larger. I can describe the clothes that he's wearing. I can describe what characteristics the boy has. So clever, smart, cheeky. So I'm going to fill in some words to describe his character. So first of all, the clever, and then I'm going to describe him as I'm going to describe him as cheeky. The clever and cheeky boy. Now it tells you what the boy is like, so you can imagine in your mind what the boy is like. He is clever and he is cheeky. So it means that he does things to annoy others to try and make himself laugh. Okay, let's move on to the fourth sentence. Sally is something and something. Ooh, so I need to describe something that Sally is. Sally is, I can describe the way she looks, her characteristics, her clothes. I'm going to say Sally is tall. Give it a bit of a different, instead of describing her characteristics, I'm going to describe the way she looks, her appearance. Okay. So I'm going to say Sally is tall and pretty. And those tells us a bit more about what Sally looks like. Tells us more about what she looks like or her appearance. So the adjectives are tall and pretty. Okay, our final sentence. The park is something and something. Now I can describe the way the park looks. If it has green grass, if it's clean, if it has a slide, like say slippery slide. It's describing things about the park. I'm gonna choose to talk about the grass first of all. The park is green. The park is green. That's the first thing. So when you imagine this park, you're gonna imagine lots of greenery, lots of green grass, lots of plants, and things like that. And I'm also going to say peaceful. So when you imagine going to this park, you imagine relaxing and just being at peace with nature. So our adjectives for this sentence is green and peaceful, because it tells us more about how the park is. So the park is green and peaceful. So that is the end of our lesson today. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, leave it a like. Leave me a comment on anything else that you would like me to cover, or any other videos you would like to see from me. And stay tuned for more weekly videos to practice your English. See you next Sunday. Bye for now.